Hi, my name is Lloyd Pike, and I am the host of Get to Know Your Neighbor. And my guest today is Mona, a resident of Regent Park. So, Mona, today I'm glad you'd be able to make it. So, to get to know a bit about you, but also get a bit to know about how you feel about Regent Park, that where you live, and with the revitalization that's happening in Regent right now. So, how long have you lived in Regent?
So my family first moved here. Wow, it's been almost 20 years.
Wow.
It's been a long, long time. So spent a lot of my life here. I grew up here, and yeah, so I've seen a lot. Like you, yeah, there's been a lot of changes.
What do you think about the revitalization? What's going on in Regent that way?
Yeah, absolutely. So the big change, of course, everyone's talking about is the revitalization, right? And you and I have seen we're halfway through, right?
Or they keep saying that, but
Yeah.
it keeps getting drawn out.
Exactly.
You know?
We're supposed to be halfway through the
Yeah.
revitalization, and yeah, it's been challenging. A lot of it has been challenging. A lot of it has been great too, right? Yeah.
So, what do you think that's good about the revive that's happening? Do you have any opinion on that?
Yeah, so obviously, a lot of the spaces we've been talking about the fact that before revitalization, when we first moved here, or when my family first moved here, there wasn't that many spaces, right? We didn't have the
Right.
amenities that we have, right? We didn't have, we had a park, but
Right.
it wasn't, there was just not a lot of places where people could sit. We were sitting on a bench, right?
Yeah.
There weren't these benches before revitalization, even though we're still in North Region, right? We're still in the last phase. So
Right.
this part of region where we're sitting at is still it's still going through the revitalization,
Yeah.
right? So I would say the biggest, the best thing that to come out of the revitalization are the spaces, the brand new buildings, cleaner buildings, newer buildings, safer buildings. So yeah.
What do you think? Have you have any thoughts on the bad things or anything
Right.
that's not working well for the residents of Regent Park?
Yeah, it's a good question. There have been a lot of challenges. Revitalization has not been without its birthing pains, right? Because if we want to create a brand new Regent Park, I think we shouldn't forget what the old Regent Park
Right.
was like. And I think there's been a lot of amnesia, right? People don't, especially the newer residents,
Right.
are not just because of revitalization, but even people that maybe have lived here just at the start.
Right.
They don't really know what Regent Park was,
Right.
and they think because everything is shiny, everything is spanking new. Like the old saying, "What not everything that glitters is gold."
Right.
So I don't think we should we should try to get back some of that soul that
Right.
that was here before. Certainly when I was growing up, and not necessarily forget some of the people that were here, and nobody should be moved out if they do not want to be
Right.
moved out. People should be coming back to this community,
Right.
and because they've fought for so much, right? They've
Yeah.
fought for a lot of things, and it shouldn't just benefit the newer residents, right? The non-community housing residents. It should be
Right.
for everybody.
What do you think? I mean, I lived there a long time as well, and I enjoyed the big apartment that I had, and now we're moving into a new building, but yet the apartments are smaller.
Certainly, yeah. I've heard of lot. My family has not yet moved
Right.
into the newer buildings. We're still at 325 George.
Right.
And yeah, I mean that's certainly a lot of the challenges, right? Making sure that the units are for families, especially large families. I
Right.
know in my community, we tended to have a lot of bigger families
Right.
than the general, Canadian
Yeah.
families. 5, 6, 7, even more children.
Mhm.
So those families need 5 bedrooms, right?
Right.
And again, Regent Park should be for everybody, for people with families, people without families, for older folks,
Right.
for younger folks who would want to start a family, or if you don't want to start a family, that's okay. But I think it should be affordable, and I think a lot of it is because there's just lack of housing.
Yeah.
It's not just Regent Park, it's not just revitalization. A lot of it is housing, and there's a housing crisis.
Right.
And I think there's just so many people that are in need of housing.
Yeah.
Just basic. It's a basic right.
Yeah.
Everybody should have housing. We're in downtown East,
Right.
right? There's so much need for housing, and I think the government,
Right.
the city of Toronto, federal government, and the provincial government should have invested more in community housing,
Right.
affordable housing, co-op housing, and that's really the root of the problem, is that people just need housing.
Yeah, but in Regent, I mean, they've taken away like the baseball diamond and stuff that we used to have here in Regent Park, and there is no baseball diamonds or stuff for the kids to play. If they wanted to play, they got to walk a long distance, right, to get to the park or to get to a soccer field now.
Well, the good thing is there's a new skating rink.
Yeah,
So that's good. I've been to the skating rink in just this past winter. We didn't have that before,
right.
and that needs to be accessible to everybody.
Yeah.
We never had an indoor swimming pool. We have the aquatic center. That needs to be accessible to
Yeah.
everybody. But also it has to be prioritized for Regent Park residents.
Right.
Whether you're in market rent,
Right.
you're in a condo, you're in a townhouse, you're in community housing, you're in affordable housing, it should be available for everybody.
Yeah.
And a lot of the problem is that people are coming from the outside to
Right.
use these spaces and to use these resources and facilities that we've been fighting for a long time, and they're benefiting from that.
Right.
So I would like to see more of that, and the residents, like the group Access to Recreation,
Right.
these are residents that are here fighting
Right.
for that.
Yeah.
But like you said, we need to have children, youth, families shouldn't have to go far away. But I think we should also look at the good things. We do have a brand new playground
Right.
with that's safe for children. So we didn't have that before. Picnic tables. We didn't have the
Right.
bake oven.
Right.
I love the bake oven. I'm getting
Right.
trained on how to
use it.
how to use it, and we didn't have that before. So I love the bake oven. There's so many things that we should celebrate, but we shouldn't necessarily forget the people that helped with this.
I also, like we usually have a festival here in the summertime, and called Sunday in the Park. And I wonder if there's anything you think, like something like that. I know we do some, but what do you think about festivals and the participation of these festivals that are for residents in Regent Park?
Right.
Do you think that we should invite people like in the condos and
Absolutely.
because
Absolutely. Yeah.
one of the things that we're trying to do is to get our neighbors to know what's going on in Regent Park, so that they can come out and be a part of it, and that they're not left out. I think we've had complaints about that they don't know what's going on. So I'm hoping that we, with this, can really express of what we're looking for to get our neighbors involved in participating with everything that's going on.
Yeah, you mentioned the festivals. I love Taste of Regent Park. It's been going on for 5 years. It's great, and that's a great. That just shows you the great work that the newer residents that have been here the last 10 years and the older residents, right? So working together, the CRC, how are we able to feed people? I mean, we are in this downtown core.
Right.
A lot of people do come to this area who are unhoused, who have no housing, but they need food. So that's a good festival to make sure to sell food, to be able to put back into the CRC. But Sunday in the Park, I would love for it to be more successful.
Right.
But I understand it is challenging. It takes a lot of work. People don't realize it's a lot of work to put these things together.
Okay, Mona, how long do you think that you'll be able to move into a new apartment?
I honestly don't know. That's like you said, things are very challenging. And I'm just gonna repeat, like it's gonna take however it's long it's gonna take. I think we shouldn't rush it.
Yeah.
I think if you're good at it, moving is very stressful. I rather just move once and just not move again. A lot of folks have not had the opportunity to do that. Some people have had to move twice.
Right.
Hopefully we won't have to move twice. But some folks have had to move to an older building and then to the new building. So I hope that that's not going to be us, but who knows? Time will tell.
I just want to say thanks to my guest and thanks for turning in. I hope that you enjoy the show and keep watching. Have a good day.